You know the TikTok audio, it's like,
Hey, how y'all doing?
that's how I feel when I make my random once a year returns to YouTube. But I'll be completely honest, I know that these videos, like these sit down, talking, get ready for the videos, aren't what people are looking for. That being said, I use these to warm up for making other videos. So I am filming right after this video a swimwear review, which I know is kind of like my bread and butter, but I have to get ready to do that video. So I figured why not film in the meantime. If this is a horrible video, I won't even post it. I'll just skip right to the swimwear. But I thought, let's get ready together and talk a little bit about the last year, because the last time I sat down and talked was, I honestly think, more than a year ago. I've said it a million times on my YouTube channel, I am not a beauty guru, I don't know that much about makeup, but that being said, I feel like every time I get around to doing a makeup video on YouTube, I'm using vastly different products because I just change it up so often. As back in the day, brands used to send me stuff, now as I pick out stuff to try for myself. So anyway, I have a bunch of random makeup I'm using. I won't really talk through it because I don't have the skill for that, but the other annoying thing is my little handheld mirror that I used for years and years and years when I was doing these videos, I broke it during my move, more on that in a second. So the only thing I have to check how I'm doing is my phone. So I'm gonna use my phone as a mirror, which is gonna be very annoying, but whatever. This video is not serious. It probably wouldn't even get 1,000 views if I know my channel, so be it. If I remember correctly, the last time we talked, I was just back from my Europe trip, I think. So we've recapped that already, and by that point I would have known that I got into law school, so I figure I told you guys about that too. But if not, I'm in law school, and now I'm a whole year done law school, so I have 2 years left before I go and work in the legal world. And I really enjoyed my first year, which is kind of crazy because everyone I talked to, especially after I finished first year, when I was going around being like, yeah, I really enjoyed my first year of law school, was like, no, you're not supposed to enjoy it. Like, you don't have to say that. But the truth is, I genuinely really enjoyed first year, which is great. I mean, it's hard. Like, law school is a lot of work all the time. You are very, 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 very busy. But once you learn to manage your time, it's fine. And my biggest goal in law school, I don't know if I would have said this in my last video, but I probably did, was just to keep a balanced life. So like, I wanted to keep a social life. I still wanted to be working as much as I could, which ended up being about 2 shifts a week. And then of course I wanted to do relatively well in law school. So I would say that happened. I actually did better than I thought I was going to academically, which is really awesome. But like I said, it really wasn't my goal. I just wanted to keep doing things that I enjoyed and being social and working. And the only thing I really had to cut out was YouTube. And honestly, like, let's be realistic, I had already cut out YouTube by that point. I haven't really done YouTube in 3 years since I finished my undergrad, which is fine because as much as I might still get messages very regularly being like, when you come back to YouTube, YouTube was just meant to be a hobby to fill a lot of spare time that I had for 4 years, and it very effectively filled that time. I do like the idea of filming a YouTube video from time to time, like I'm doing right now, but I don't ever feel like YouTube's gonna be a huge part of my life again. People even in my personal life ask, like, are you ever gonna go back to YouTube? And I just don't see it, because YouTube was a great era, influencing was a great era, all the social media I did, so TikTok, Instagram, YouTube most heavily, was really fun, but I don't do any of it really anymore. Like, I barely post on TikTok, you guys see when I post on YouTube, and I do Instagram purely personally. I don't even think I still have my business Instagram account. If I do, clearly I'm not using it. So I don't know, I feel like this won't be my last video. I mean, I'm filming right after this. These 2 won't be my last videos, but I don't know that there's gonna be that many more videos I ever do. And it's just because I have other hobbies and passions now, and I think that's totally okay. I also work very full-time, especially in the summer, and then with school I work in my mind more than full-time, because school's a full-time job, and then whatever else I work on top of that is like working a part-time job and a full-time job. So yeah, I don't think YouTube's ever gonna be a thing for me again. So basically what I'm saying is enjoy it when I do post and don't expect too much. Oh my god, I just caught a glance at my farmer's tan. It's brutal. I don't know how I'm gonna fix it, but it is absolutely brutal. I don't even know how it happened. I sat out in the yard for like an hour with sunscreen on, and this happened. Yeah, I think I was just kind of ranting for a second about how I wasn't gonna come back to YouTube, so that's the reality of it. I've spoken in other videos about what I would call the negative sides of being on YouTube, and I still feel those things are true. So I'm not a YouTuber because of any of that negative stuff. I could always get past that stuff, but it's just like another reason not to do YouTube. So what can I say? Biggest news in the last year, I think, has to be that I bought a house, which was a long time coming. We were looking at houses for 4 or 5 years, pre-approved the entire time. So like pre-approval after pre-approval, not finding a house we liked, seeing houses we liked, making offers on houses, not getting them. One private sale house that didn't work out. So much happened. And then finally we found the house that I'm in right now. Maybe if I'm feeling really generous at some point I'll do a video showing my house. But yeah, so that was kind of the most exciting part of the year for me, for us, is finding this house because it's exactly where we wanted it to be. It is exactly what we wanted. And it was very exciting to buy a house so young. So yeah, definitely grateful for that from this year. I thought a lot of times about coming on YouTube and talking more about that, but honestly, I didn't have time. Like, we bought our house the month law school started, so it was so much all at once. Doing my makeup on my phone sucks. I can't even tell what I'm doing. And the other thing is like, about coming back to YouTube is I've given up a lot of my brand opportunities, which is fine because it's just like I wasn't doing it anymore. So it was the point of having those partnerships anymore. But there's a lot of brands that I've said like, I'm taking a break from YouTube. Like, you don't have to keep emailing me asking me about partnerships. Other side of that is I kind of fell out of this like consumerism mentality. And the thing is, when you're a YouTuber, TikToker, influencer, any of that stuff, you can't avoid that mentality. You have to keep going to the next thing, next thing, next thing. And it's a little bit exhausting. I'm grateful that I got all that stuff, but it's hard to be getting all that stuff and keeping up with all of that. And there's a lot of judgment, which I don't think is misplaced necessarily, because encouraging that level of consumerism is a bad thing. It's just not something that you can avoid doing when you're in that world. Also, I did ask you guys for questions for this video, like half an hour before I started filming, which was 100% not enough time. So I've kind of given up on that. I haven't even looked to see if I got asked anything. Okay, quite honestly, I finished my makeup off camera and came back to finish the Q&A portion of this just because honestly, I was distracting myself by complaining so much about not having my little mirror. So clearly I need to get a mirror if I'm gonna do these videos again. I don't know what else I have to talk to you guys about. Yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna go film the swimwear part of this video because I'm really excited to talk about that brand. If you've been following along, you know what brand I'm reviewing. If not, you'll see in the next video. Alrighty, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.